My lords, today I continue to bring you reports that appear to be linked to the recent influx of cosmic storms. I shall detail 3 events for you today. One relates to the potential discovery of a new and previously undiscovered Precursor race. One details a frustrating encounter with an artificial intelligence, and the last one has given our local megacorps the marvellous idea of selling luxury storm shelters. The events I have for you today have been designated as Green Skies, Hold the Line, and Repowered Complex. I shall begin with Green Skies. During routine exploration of the Paris system, we have identified a series of intriguing signals coming from a specific region on the 4th planet. Based on their composition, it's highly likely that there is a remnant of an ancient civilization waiting to be uncovered down there. We are gleefully making base camp in the hope to find yet more evidence of the newly discovered Initian traders, Adakaria, or perhaps something completely new. Near our base camp, we were greeted by a set of peculiar city ruins. The architecture showed characteristics of every civilization that we've encountered so far, most bizarrely including our own. However, the material composition is similar to what we would use to establish base camps during planetary colonization. This is rather odd, because the materials could never hold out for multiple decades, let alone the age that our scanners have determined the ruins to be. It's highly unlikely for these ruins to have belonged to a mysterious precursor, yet the scanners persist in their conclusion. We wonder what could be at play here, and are investigating further. The trail of the signals has led us to a pathway into the lower levels of the ruined city. Usually, archaeological sites of this type have an underground transportation network, or at least a collection of safety bunkers. Instead, we found a small cave system, littered with scraps of fabric, polymer containers, and even some organic waste. It would appear that we are not the first to explore this archaeological site. Worryingly, my crew aboard our ship in orbit informs us that the skies outside are beginning to turn green. A cosmic storm is about to develop inside the system. Still, we press on towards the origin point of the signals, and we hope that they are a minor one, but we shall continue to explore these ruins in earnest. Our progress was briefly halted by a set of badly damaged metallic doors. With little effort, we managed to work our way past the obstacle, and a rudimentary storage facility revealed itself to us. Its shelves were filled to the brim with an assortment of derelict technologies. Boxes of well-known corporations had been carefully stacked against the walls. And finally, the source of the signals that we had been chasing so long revealed itself: a transponder computer, not unlike our own technology. As we logged into the device and searched its database, our engineers began to form a wild conclusion. This signal was deliberately constructed to appear as mysterious and intriguing as possible, mimicking and combining the characteristics from a multitude of other civilizations. What's more, inside the boxes we found construction kits of the ruins that we encountered above ground. We've contacted base camp to report our findings, but the cosmic storm has already begun to interrupt our communication lines. All we've received in response was a garbled cry for help. It appears that our base camp is under attack. It would appear that the cosmic storm inside the Paris system turned out to have been concealing a bloody pirate fleet. It was their crew that attacked our base camp, and the pirates relayed a message to our command, which read, "Dear absolute fools, thank you for joining us at our most elusive retreat. Isn't it amazing just how quickly seemingly intelligent beings abandon all reason whenever they detect the merest whiff of ancient artifacts and devious relics? Perhaps you had hoped to find a means to destroy a great enemy, to build fleets as far as the event horizon reaches. Or were you just trying to be nice to your own people? How quaint. Please don't feel bad. Many others came before you, and our business model depends that many others will follow in your footsteps. Now, for a modest sum of 2,000 energy credits, we will happily return something that you have lost. Reject our offer, and who knows what terrible things could happen to your science team and their poorly armed crew that remains trapped on the planet. Maybe a nearby slaver or a very driven assimilator may be interested. We also hear that nerve stapling is a hot new trend. It would appear that these pirates were giving us a choice: pay up the ransom, a mere 2,000 energy credits, leave our science team to rot, or push back and attempt to rescue the crew. We obviously chose the latter. The Commonwealth will not be bullied, and these pirates obviously did not know that we have defeated far greater threats than the one that they pose. And shockingly, it would appear that the pirates could not back up their cocky speech with skill. We sent an elite strike team into Faris to recover the science vessel and crew, and it did not take long before the tattered remnants of the pirate fleet became a part of the galactic ecosystem. We re-established contact with our science crew on the surface soon after. They were rather shaken by the experience, but suffered no harm. While we discovered no new insights into ancient civilizations, our experience did instill a need for vigilance. The expedition leader failed to see the incoming danger. We will not make the same mistake. We have reassigned this leader to a planetary teaching role for several cycles. The next event I shall cover is designated Hold the Line. The passing cosmic storm left behind a curious present, an orbital complex from an old habitat station. We are planning a boarding action in the hope that we find something interesting, or perhaps we may even attempt to reactivate the station. Despite having been dragged across the galaxy by a cosmic storm, the complex appears to have suffered very little harm. We found the living and commercial spaces of the habitat in almost perfect condition. Not a single bit of dust laid atop the surface that would betray a previous occupancy. It was as if this station had never been used before. Inside the central control hub, we were greeted by a bewildering input system. Dials with no explanation, levers with inconsistent settings, and a vast amount of buttons flashing a whole spectrum of colours at seemingly random intervals. Fortunately, we quickly came across a manual. Once this is successfully translated, we are confident that we can reactivate this habitat. Several hours have passed, however, and translation of the manual is proving most difficult. And unfortunately, our previous estimation appears to have been quite optimistic. The manual turned out to be just as incomprehensible as the control system. Half of the pages appeared to be missing, and the pictorial instructions make significant semiotic assumptions. The other half of the manual is written in a difficult to interpret set of hieroglyphs. However, the last page displayed a comm frequency, accompanied by a set of characters that we translated to read Help Desk. We're attempting the frequency now. The manual's comm frequency connected us to the help desk mainframe of a commercial entity known as Sky Garden. With a friendly, though neutral tone, the help desk AI informed us that it appreciated us reaching out and asked if there was anything it could do to aid us. Among the listed options were answering questions about subscriptions, learning about the new line of smart defense systems, and finally, if we wish to know more about the corporation's socially responsible initiatives. However, the subsequent options continued to direct us to entirely unrelated topics. Worst of all, it would often put our scientists on hold, only to then drop the call. Obviously, the service AI has not survived the passing of time as well as the rest of the habitat. Nevertheless, we will continue to find our way through this arcane system. Our engineers are now reporting that regardless of what they say to the AI, after passing through several menus, the system would simply revert back to a previous statement. We've attempted to run several simulations to map out the exact menu tree, but our efforts returned recursive errors and an inability to both solve and check the solution at the same time. Even running a quantum model has achieved no desirable results. We suspect we accidentally collapsed a few wave functions in the process, and we are at a total loss. In a rare fit of pure frustration, the lead scientist screamed down the line, shouting that the AI should space itself, muttering that they get more sense out of a banana with Wi-Fi, and that if they wanted this level of disappointment, they'd call their ex-wife. Clearly, this is what customer service automation does to people, even the most placid and usually intelligent ones. Despite the outburst, ironically, it appears that this worked. The AI admonished the scientists for using inappropriate language and stated that we should wait until we are contacted by a customer service representative. For a while we were left waiting, and then suddenly the comm line splattered into life. The entity on the other end of the line introduced herself as the record keeper of the Sky Garden Corporation. The help desk itself was an AI program that she had inherited from the last record keeper. As far as she knows, the comm station has not been used since the bankruptcy of Sky Garden many decades ago. When we queried why she was remaining working for a bankrupt organization, she simply said that it was in her contract. Explaining our situation, the record keeper dug out an old quick start guide to the habitat. She will now transfer the digital impressions of the pages to us. With the new guide in our possession, restarting the habitat required little effort. After the noise of activating machinery slowly died down, we decided to reach out to the record keeper once more to thank her. She told us that she had recovered some information on the station. Apparently, it had been built 5 centuries ago as a prototype, but was lost in the astrological chaos following a particularly nasty cosmic storm. The loss of property and development costs was enough to bankrupt Sky Garden. Helping us was the record keeper's first useful task in years, and she followed up with, "Besides, it was quite nice to hear my great-grandmother's voice on the line again, even if it was just an AI." And the final event I have for you today relates to that of a luxury storm shelter, and is designated Repowered Complex. Following the passing of a recent electrical cosmic storm, an unexplained power surge was detected beneath the surface of Ares 8. Further scans revealed an aging subterranean complex whose power generators were reactivated by the storm, bringing the facility back online. The entrance of the isolated complex on Ares 8 appears to be of an exceptionally robust construction. Clearly this has been built to last. Its exterior features heavy armor plating, radiation shields, and an array of atmospheric sensors. Our science teams believe it was built to withstand extreme conditions, and scans suggest that a large underground chamber can be accessed via a series of sealed security doors. Having gained access to the main interior, our science teams conclude that we have discovered an unused survival shelter, built long ago for some unknown organic species. It is outfitted with a well-stocked habitation quarters comprising of sleep pods, leisure zones, and a medical bay. Storage lockers on every floor hold deep reserves of unopened nutrient packs, batteries, and tools. Everything contained in this hidden vault is in pristine condition. One final set of security doors remain sealed. We believe that they will lead us to the facility's command deck. While exploring, we found a series of pamphlets advertising the shelter as the Deluxe Shelter Package. And furthermore, it appears that the shelter's command deck is equipped with an impressive array of cosmic storm detection and analysis monitors, all fed by the atmospheric sensors on the surface. After running on standby, these consoles contain centuries worth of historical storm data, which will greatly advance our understanding of astrometeorology. Our scientists have also found a small and well-used holo projector. When activated, it beams a 3D molluscoid figure, delivering a sales pitch, running through the shelter's key features under a corporate logo. Whether this survival product ever found a buyer is impossible to say, but it has clearly remained unused here for several years. We suspect that a mega corporation once specialized in the manufacture and sale of these specialist cosmic storm bunkers. They appear remarkably similar to fallout shelters built on old Earth. I wonder if any experiments went on with these. Thanks for watching, folks. Do you have a favorite event from cosmic storms? Please let me know in the comments if you do. And if you enjoyed this one and want to learn about the largest planet in Stellaris, then I suggest you click the video on screen now.